Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next short attention span webinar. Kelly, I kind of had a hard time labeling this one. This was not my most creative title, the long time sale. Now, you know what this is about. What would you call this one?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, long range, I think once we referred to them as the big fish.
Okay.
This is about big opportunities and the fact that sometimes they take a lot longer than we are really willing to admit.
Yeah, case in point, I was out for a walk in early July, and I walked by a friend of mine's house, and he happens to be in the printing industry. I play golf with him, play tennis. I've done some work with his reps. Nice guy. And he said to me, "Yeah, we just nailed. We've been going after these big accounts, like $500,000." And he said, "We just got one." And I said, "Well, I got to ask you this question: how long did it take you to nail that account?" And he kind of rocked his head back a little bit, and he said, 2 years. 2 years. And I tell you what, 2 years from now is July 2015.
Yeah.
That's a lot of faith. That's a lot of prayer. That's a lot of work. I think you have to have some of these big accounts, right? I mean, why bother if it's going to take 2 years? Well, I don't know, Kelly. You got to start somewhere, I guess, right?
Their significance cannot be cannot be undersold. I mean, having a couple of these just makes they're life changers. If you talk about a $500,000 account at 10% commission, that's a $50,000 paycheck. I mean, some people don't even make that much in a whole year, their entire lives. I mean, they can be really, really important.
And you know what? Here's the thing. This is what we're going to talk about today. In this circumstance, I said to him, "Okay, break that down." He said, "It took us a year to get an appointment." And it could have meant, hey, we're in a contract with somebody else, or we're busy, but it was a diligent approach for 1 year to get the first appointment. Then he said we went through the qualification process, we went through the plant tour process, and that was great. After that, it became a matter of once we're qualified, then it became a matter of pricing, which took some time, and then they finally, after all that dancing, they were finally awarded the company, the contract. So these things take an awful lot of time, obviously. Mm-hmm. So here's the plan. Here's the suggestion. Our recommendation is this, and Kelly, I think I'm speaking for you as well. Always have a minimum of 5 big game, big fish prospects, on a list. 5. And you want to have a plan of action for all 5. So these are going to be in different stages. Right, Kelly? I mean, you're going to have...
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but remember that sometimes, again, given that what you just said, Bill, about it taking a year to get the appointment, there could be a month that goes by in between points of contact for any one of those prospects at any given time.
Right.
So, once you've kind of set out that initial kind of flurry of activity where you're sending letters and sending emails and stuff, if you determine, I'm going to go after these guys until something happens, you may only be calling them once a month or visiting once a month or, mm-hmm. sending a case study. I mean, long periods of time could go by, so it sounds more daunting than it is.
Yeah, but there's there's research, there's looking into LinkedIn, who knows who, there might be tapping into your own network, and there's an awful lot of work. And this is a weekly thing. You should be putting weekly effort into this. But you want to have a plan of action, and then you want to have these 5 actively engaged in that plan. So be working that action plan on a regular basis. As Kelly said, you know what? You might get them on the phone, and they might say, "Call me after Labor Day." All right, whoop, then that's 2 months. Mm-hmm. And so that might just happen. Now, we also recommend that you have 2 in the bullpen. In case one of them drops out for any reason, there's another rep calling on the account, they move out of town, they burn to the ground, whatever, you want to have 2 always in the bullpen, so you can just slip one in just like that. So 5 to look for. And Kelly, where would these 5 come from? Where would you find the 5?
Well, again, I think it depends on what your target markets are. I mean, typically they may be, vertical markets that you're already playing in, but that that you've decided to kind of step it up a notch, or it may be a regional thing where you look at the top 50 companies in your, within 100 miles of your location. So namely, you're going to be, researching them on the internet, or these could just be household names. Here in Chicago, it would be Allstate Insurance, McDonald's, United, Boeing, places like that. So, within any geographic area, there's probably some big companies that are, like I said, they're kind of household names, or it wouldn't be that difficult to just go onto Google and say, what are the top 50 companies in Pittsburgh, or what are the top 50 companies in New York City, or something like that.
Yeah, and big is going to be relative. Not everybody can chew on Boeing or McDonald's, but it might be somebody that buys $25,000 worth of product of whatever you're selling, and that becomes a big fish as well. So, yeah, these are big life changers, gang. It takes just as much time to write up a $5,000 order as it does a $500,000 order. So it also takes just as much time to cash the commission check, by the way. So a little bit bigger, a little bit happier. But so there's some thoughts on the long-term sale. Give you something to do this summer. Kelly, thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you, Bill.
And we'll talk to you all next week on the next short attention span webinar.